TG Geeks, episode 406, November 28th, 2022. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Hello and welcome to another webcast from tggeeks.com, where Ben and Keith, the Two Gay Geeks, talk about all aspects of Geek-dom and Nerd-ery, sci-fi, comics, film, horror, genre, you name it, we talk about it. I'm Keith Lane and we're coming to you from TG Squared Studios in lovely Phoenix, Arizona, where I can't sing.
I'm Ben Raggington, also coming to you from lovely Mike, and it is lovely right now. The weather in Phoenix, Arizona is gorgeous right now.
Yeah, let's get on with this.
Prepare for hyperdrive.
Meanwhile, in the Hall of Episodes, the Two Gay Geeks are discussing this.
Well, this time we're going to talk about our recent trip to Disneyland and some other stuff.
Since we talked about the fact that we were going,
yeah, because we experienced some really neat stuff, and have our birthday shout outs, our featured podcast of the week, and got some feedback, a couple of other shout outs. In the second segment, we might have something important to talk about, and a wacky weekly recap, as well as our regular end show shout outs. So let's just get on with it. I would have played the Disneyland Christmas parade music, but that's copyrighted, so we'd get a copyright claim on the episode.
Yeah,
so we don't want to do that.
Don't want that.
Yeah, so I want to start this off because last week we talked about starting our holiday season movie watching, and since we came back from our trip, which we got back Wednesday night, so no shopping, and we had spent actually Thanksgiving with Brendan and Gordon, our closest friends, and Brendan fixed some
fantastic
fillets
steak.
And some
we had a keto Thanksgiving,
roasted radishes and some broccoli, and it was just absolutely delightful.
It really was.
So we did watch a couple of movies this week. We watched Christmas with the Kranks, which is one of our favorites. It's just an annual thing that we watch. And it was, as always, it was wonderful. There's Jamie Lee Curtis with some of her
facial expressions.
Facial expressions that she gives to Tim Allen are just like, well, they were out. Well, I didn't think about asking the butcher or something.
Did you ask Rex? Who's Rex? The butcher. I didn't think to ask the butcher about where the white chocolate is.
Yeah. Anyway, it's always a great film, and it's kind of touching, and it really is kind of one of those loony Christmas
It's a fun
stories.
Christmas movie that has a really good sense of heart, but without turning into a Hallmark schmaltzy thing.
Exactly. And then,
oh my God,
we watched A Christmas Story Christmas, which is the follow-up.
In my opinion,
in essence,
this is the real sequel to A Christmas Story with the young Peter Billingsley and the outrageous Darren McGavin.
Oh, and then, Peter Billingsley is grown up, and he has he plays Ralph again and has a family of his own. And it is as madcap as the original one. And, it's kind of a little bit of a tribute to Darren McGavin.
Actually, I thought it was a very good tribute to Darren McGavin. It was a lovely movie. I like the fact that they were able to get virtually everybody from the original film. The only person they couldn't get was the original mother.
Yeah.
She was not available, so they got Julie Haggerty to come in and play the mom. But everybody else they had been in the original movie, and we got lots of voiceover of Darren McGavin from the first film.
Yep.
It was delightful, and some of it was just hilarious.
It was over the top as the original one was. Just as crazy and madcap and over the top and just insane.
It was delightful.
Yeah, it really was a great film.
And in some great ways, it kind of spoke more to us because that movie was really for the baby boomer.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And we were able to look at a lot, say, for example, a lot of the toys that were in the toy shop. And I'm
my
like,
gosh.
oh, yeah, I know that.
Yeah,
I know that. I know
remember
that.
one. Yep.
Yeah, it was a wonderful film. I'm glad that Peter Billingsley got to work on this one. It was great.
Yes, it was. And then we did our trip to Disneyland. We took off on Saturday morning and just leisurely drove to California. We went into downtown Disney. We didn't go into the park on Saturday because we knew we were meeting some friends for dinner, and we got there
just did
early
downtown
enough.
Disney shopping, which was great.
Yeah, and before we could really check into the hotel, and we just did some shopping for the nephews and some other people, and had
a little bit of shopping for us too.
A little bit of shopping for us.
Got a couple of cool shirts,
and it was just nice to take it easy. And I, of course, my knee was acting up. I have a torn meniscus that I have got to get fixed, and so it was acting up. So I walked with a cane, and we slowly walked through, downtown Disney, and then Saturday night, we had friends with Jen and Phil Chavez.
We had friends with Jen.
We had friends with dinner, yes. We had friends for dinner.
Yeah, we're not cannibals.
Yeah.
How to serve man
with
potatoes on the side.
Exactly. We had dinner with some friends, Jen and Phil.
Yes.
And it had a great time. I mean,
marvelous.
We sat there for 2.5 hours or so. It was. I mean, we were at Ruth's Chris, and it was off in a corner, and we practically cleared the place by the time.
I think we did. Had plenty of wine. Had a really nice time.
Yeah, had a great conversation.
It was a great time with them.
Some of our favoriteest people.
Oh, we adore them.
So it was a lot of fun, and then Sunday we got up early and because we had a tour that we were going to do, and that was the Walt's Main Street tour.
Right.
And it was a lot of fun, and while we took our time because I was walking with the cane, it was kind of nice. We got off the tram, we leisurely walked to the plaza, got in a line, stood there for a few minutes, and then we went in, and took it easy. Went right over to the Disney Gallery to see if Lucas was working, and he was. So
another friend of ours.
It was wonderful,
the park.
And we bought some artwork.
Oh,
and
holy cow! Did we
oh,
get?
Yeah,
oh my God! This is
one was
incredible print.
We'll have to figure out where to put it on the wall. We're going to have to take something down, I think.
Yeah, we're going to have to, and then Dad will take a picture of it and put it up on our website.
Yeah.
Because it is beautiful.
It's just wonderful. And then we moseyed over to the tour place, and the walk in, Walt's Main Street Story. That's the new name of the new tour. And it's a little pricey, but we had previously been on a couple of tours that were supposed to get us into Walt's apartment above the fire station, which we have never been in. And this one did, and it was really kind of nice. They walk you down Main Street, tell you some stuff that, stuff we already knew, and walk you back up, and stuff we already knew. And then we went up to the apartment that's right above Main Street. And it is furnished with replicas and stuff that was very similar to what Walt and Lillian had in that apartment.
It was cozy.
It was cozy. It was a nice, small,
Emphasis on small.
It's
tiny.
One room. It was a day trip apartment.
Yeah. I mean, it had some day beds in there or some fold-out beds.
It was not meant to be lived in. It was meant when Walt came down, say, in the morning, and he was going to spend the day in the park or doing something, and they it was, at that time when the park opened, there was no I-5.
No, there wasn't.
So he had to take all the surface streets and the back roads and all of that.
Yeah, I forgot
kind of
how
neat
they said
stuff.
how long it took for him to get from where he lived to the park. It was
Quite a
some
while,
time.
yeah. So rather than drive back, they would stay the night there, and then he would leave the next day or go into the office the next day or whatever. And it was kind of a cozy little thing. They had a little kitchenette.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing but a sink and a coffee pot and a sandwich maker. So, it was kind of neat. They had a Victrola, or not a Victrola, but an Edison.
Mm-hmm.
It was on the roll.
Right. It used cylinders.
The cylinder, yeah, before the Victrola, and some other neat little tribute things that were in there.
Mm-hmm.
Some photos of Walt and Lillian, and Walt and his brother, and Walt and his father, and it was a nice little tour of the apartment. Nice to be there. Nice to have experienced that finally. And then we got to sit out on the patio that was just out there that Walt and Lillian would sit out on and watch the people walk by as they were, going to Disneyland.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that tour.
Yes, it was a great way to actually properly start the park at that time, because with a small tour group, there's something kind of intimate about it. You're doing something that does not involve the rest of the crowd of the park. So it feels very personal at that point, and I think it puts you in a very healthy state of mind to then enjoy the rest of the park. And one thing that I want to emphasize is after we were done with the tour and we started going through the park, you and I had already made the decision ahead of time that once we get there, we were going to just slow down. And not just because of your knee, but we decided we were not going to get caught up in that rat race.
Yeah.
With the crowd and just become completely overwhelmed with trying to get from attraction A to attraction B to attraction C, et cetera, and just get completely swallowed up by the people that were there. We just said, we're going to take our time. We're going to enjoy the sights. We're going to enjoy the sounds, and we're going to do what we're going to do. And that's it.
If we do something, we do it. If we don't, we don't. And I had resigned myself to, we're going to ride the train, and we're probably going to sit in the hub and listen to the Main Street Christmas loop. Anything else was gravy on top of, we had the tour, obviously, but anything else was kind of just a wonderful bonus. Yeah. And the thing is that we went back and talked to Lucas a little bit more, and we decided that we would just mosey over to Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah, we caught the train, got off at Norland Square, and then went via Critter Country to Galaxy's Edge, and thought, all right, well, let's give this a try, only to find out it's down.
Yep, which was fine.
So we kind of wandered further in because there was the thought, well, we don't know when it's going to be back up. So, okay, so we'll stick nearby.
And you were watching your app.
I was watching the app, and all of a sudden I saw the announcement that it was back up. So we got right in line. And it was already 60 minutes standby. But that was okay.
And it wasn't too bad. I mean, we
Well, the queue was attractive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very nice looking queue. It looks like you're wandering through the outer areas of a rebel base.
Right.
So that was kind of far out. And then we finally got onto the ride. And I got to tell you, I never thought I would actually ride it.
It was a pretty
amazing
ride. Yeah.
It was pretty amazing. The technology involved in the ride itself. I mean, I guessed certain things are going to happen in certain ways, only to be surprised that, oh, no, we're actually going to be doing it this way, which kind of made the technology even more dazzling to me, made the magic really come alive. I was terribly impressed with it. And there's this one bit where you actually, the moment you walk onto the hangar of an Imperial ship, holy crap, that was jaw-dropping.
It was. It was, and the way they did it, it was kind of nice because you enter into one side of the car, and they take you on this
Well, yeah, it's a
wild
little
ride, shall we say.
Yeah.
And then you see doors on the other side, so you assume you're going to get out on that side, and it's just a walk-through attraction.
And because it's, for people who don't know, the story is you are part of the resistance. You are going to be evacuated from Batu, and there is the shuttle. So you enter in on one side of the shuttle, and I saw the door on the other side of the ship, and I thought, oh, well, that leads us into the show building.
Right, exactly.
So we're going to go out that door.
But no, they opened the same door that you came back in.
Yeah, it was very well done. It was
pretty cool. And you walk on to a Star Destroyer, and there must be 50 stormtroopers lined up there.
I think more. I think close to 100.
Oh, really?
I'm just guessing. It was a huge number. And there is this gigantic, fantastic projection screen that gives the illusion that you're looking outside a hangar door.
Right. Yeah.
And you're seeing ships flying, and it was dazzling.
It was. And then they take you on you hijack a ship or a
well, you're going to be taken for interrogation.
Right.
And then somebody actually breaks you out. And it's so well done.
It is. It really is. I was impressed with the technology
this is
and the
all
ride itself.
This is all stuff that is happening before you even get onto the proper portion of the ride.
Exactly.
I like that. That's very reminiscent of, like, say, the Haunted Mansion,
right?
Where there's a certain amount of interactivity in the queue before you get into the dune buggy.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing, except plussed up even.
Exactly. And so after that, it was like you had your agenda.
Yeah,
your bucket list.
My bucket list was checked off for the day. I was like, I have got one thing I want to do, and that is I've got to ride Rise of the Resistance, and I finally did it. Wow.
And it was, the rest of the day, we just kind of wandered around. And
we met up with friends.
Yep. And we saw Mike and Della. And then we also, Joanne was with them. And we sat and chatted with them for a while. Some wonderful friends of ours that live in Seal Beach there. And they have annual passes. And they happened to be there. And then we went and enjoyed a Dole Whip at what was the
it's
Dole Whip-a-rama, or
I don't know what it's called.
I don't know.
It's next to the tiki room.
Yeah,
that's all I recall.
Enchanted Grotto. Where it
the Enchanted Grotto.
What used to be the Enchanted Grotto.
Yeah, I guess they did. Well, it was also Aladdin's Palace at one time too,
right.
and then they changed it. I don't know what it's called now.
But they had different flavors there.
The Tahitian patio, I think. I don't know.
Tahitian Terrace.
Tahitian Terrace, maybe that's it.
The Pining Patio or Pineapple Patio or
who knows?
But it was a really interesting because they had the regular Dole Whip which is the pineapple soft serve, and they had other flavors, and we had what was it? It was
lime and cherry.
Lime and cherry, yeah, that was
far out.
It was pretty cool. They put sprinkles all over it though, but it's like, oh crap.
Yeah, oh well.
I finally ate all those off,
crunch,
and
crunch,
it was
crunch.
okay.
But I think that was pretty much it. I think we just kind of wandered around at that point, but we didn't do anything else that day.
No, it was just kind of we wandered through the park, and that was about it. And did a little shopping here and there, and pretty much
that was it. And then we left for the day.
And Tuesday we did
then Monday.
Monday, we did California Adventure, and we had breakfast at Storytellers, which is always a delight,
nice.
And had some interesting things that we did at California Adventure. You did
I rode my favorite. That's Guardians of the Galaxy.
I
love that ride so much.
And wandered around a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and dent really do much of anything that day.
No, we just wandered around. But then we left early that day, and then we went to the theaters and saw Wakanda Forever.
Yep.
And then Tuesday, we were back at Disneyland.
And we actually got to get on Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean, as well as Small World.
And do the Tiki Room that day.
And did the Tiki Room and rode the train around.
And rode the train. I mean, that's a full day.
That's our ideal day.
That's
is
a full
all
day.
of those things.
Yeah.
And
it was so nice because that was, I think, the first time we've ridden Pirates
in a
since
long time.
before COVID.
Yeah, yeah.
And when we got on the ride, I think I then turned to you, I said, honey, we're home.
Yeah, exactly.
We're home.
It's that, we have very simple tastes when it comes to Disneyland, where there's other things that we would love to do. And
Space
like
Mountain, Thunder Mountain, whatever.
If you have an opportunity.
If the chance is there, sure, go for it. But there are certain staples that we just have to do. And Pirates and Haunted Mansion, especially the Halloween themed or holiday themed, is what I should say, is really delightful. Now I look forward to us going back at some point when we're
seeing the regular,
restored, because I love the classic Haunted Mansion to no end.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was such a great trip, and I felt so relaxed by the time it was all over. And I love the fact that we just went slow.
Yeah, exactly.
We went very slowly, and for me it was fantastic.
Yeah, it wasn't about that we had to go and do a whole bunch of stuff. It's just that we were there.
Yeah.
And if we rode something or we had an opportunity to ride something, we did, and that was fine.
And I think also for us being able to, I think there's some very fond memories of Disneyland at the holidays, because that was the very first time, back in 1999, I think.
Yeah.
Was the first time at Christmas, was your first time at Disneyland, compliments of my mom.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a certain fondness
for
the park at holiday.
And holiday.
In Disneyland at Christmas is unquestionably gorgeous.
It is just beautiful, and it's magical, and they
have
wonderful.
This gorgeous music that they play. Every land is decorated. It is stunning.
Yep.
I just love Disneyland at Christmas, and in some ways you could say that's a ride in of itself if you allow yourself to just kind of like slow down, smell the roses, and just take in the environment.
Yep. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Parade.
God, the parade music. God, that's going to be stuck in my head.
Exactly. It is. It's stuck. It's been there for 3 days now.
For several days. I mean, there were a number of times where we just could not escape that parade.
Exactly.
We didn't have to watch it.
It kept rolling around.
No matter where we were, there was the parade. Oh, well.
Exactly. That's
Still,
all right.
I could not have asked for a more enjoyable time. I really couldn't.
And that was our trip to Disneyland. I want to give a shout out this week to Duncan Rittschof at Duncan's Books and More. You should check him out. He's got all kinds of stuff, lots of used books. He does kind of an exclusive, I won't say exclusive, but he has virtually everything that Jeannie Koch has written. So
pretty much,
even some of the so-called out-of-print stuff you can get from Duncan as well. So check out Duncan at Duncan's Books and More. And I think you can find him on Facebook, or look up Duncan's Books and More on Google, and you'll find him there. And that's it.
Hey, I'm actor, podcaster, and filmmaker Michael Chan, and you are listening to the Two Gay Geeks.
I love that music.
I know you do.
Here's a few selected birthdays for November 28th through December 4th, 2022. Oh my God, we're getting close to 2023.
I know.
Gee, many Christmas. November 28th, Randy Newman, American singer, songwriter, arranger, composer, and pianist known for his southern accented singing style. Early American influenced songs, often with a mordant and satirical lyrics, and various film scores. His best-known songs as a recording artist are Short People, I Love L.A., and You've Got a Friend in Me. Born in Los Angeles to an extended family of Hollywood film composers, Newman began his songwriting career at age 17. Since the 80s, Newman has worked mostly as a film composer. He has scored 9 Disney Pixar animated films. Then we have Albert W. Tucker, Canadian mathematician, is remembered for his contribution to the field of operations research, primarily nonlinear programming and game theory. The Princeton alumnus was also associated with Harvard as a research fellow and later taught math at Princeton. John Nash was one of his PhD students. And then we have a friend of ours, Linda Reese. November 29th, Chadwick Boseman. Versatile actor and inspiration for a generation of black youths, Chadwick Boseman is best remembered for portraying notable real-life black figures like Jackie Robinson, Thurgood Marshall, and James Brown in their biopics. His excellent performance in Black Panther, though, turned him into a household name. Sadly, he died of cancer in 2020. And
he was battling cancer at the time that he was making those Marvel films.
It's amazing.
And he never... nobody knew that he was dying.
Yep. And the Wakanda Forever was a good tribute.
It was a nice
him.
tribute to Chadwick. There's no question about that.
Then we have Don Cheadle, best known for his Academy Award nominated performance as Paul in Hotel Rwanda.
Ouch.
And as War Machine in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He has been a UN ambassador for environment, and has won the BET, the Black Entertainment Television Humanitarian Award, for his efforts to end genocide in Rwanda and Darfur. Then we have friends of ours, Renee Baum, Douglas Kinsman, Jessica Marino, and Mike Cohen, who we just saw last weekend. November 30th, Ben Stiller, one of the most popular comedic actors of his generation. Stiller is part of the famous group The Frat Pack. He has been described as the leader of the group, which involves names like Will Ferrell, Owen Wilson, and Steve Carell. Popular and successful actor, his movies have grossed over $2.6 billion with the finger to the mouth in USA and Canada.
And he's the showrunner for Severance.
Severance, yes. I can't wait till that comes back.
Ditto.
Shirley Chisholm, one of my heroes. Wow. What an inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
A courageous political leader, Shirley Chisholm made history when she became the first African-American woman to be elected to the United States to be elected a United States Congresswoman. Later, she yet again created history when she, though unsuccessfully, ran for the Democratic Party's presidential nomination for the contest of the U.S. presidency. Throughout her career, she advocated racial equality and women empowerment. As an author, she penned 2 books. And she was elected in 1968 or 69 to the Congress. That was unbelievable.
Incredible.
At the time. Friend of ours, Karen Kane, happy birthday. December 1st, Matthew Shepard. Matthew Shepard was a gay student who was beaten and tortured and left to die hanging from a fence on October 6th, 1998, leading to his death 6 days later. The incident led to the passage of the Matthew Shepard Act by Barack Obama years later, and the LGBT-oriented Matthew Shepard Foundation, which we run a spot for every episode. Bette Midler, singer-songwriter, actress,
the divine
and
Miss
comedian. Midler is one of the most decorated American celebrities of her generation. She has won prestigious awards like Grammy Awards, Golden Globe Awards, Primetime Emmy Awards, and Tony Award. Also known for her charity work, Bette Midler founded a nonprofit organization called New York Restoration Project in 1995. Then we have friends Bill Waters, who is a Getty Images photographer, and Aaron Blunt.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Aaron. December 2nd, Maria Callas. Greek soprano Maria Callas, also known as La Divina, is considered one of the greatest opera singers of the 20th century. The Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award winner was also in the news for her affair with shipping magnate Aristotle Onassis, her rival with Renata Tebaldi, and her gradual declining vocal ability. Lucy Liu, American actress, shot to fame with television series Ally McBeal and later proved her acting skills with films like Charlie's Angels, Kill Bill, Volume 1, Shanghai Noon, and television series Elementary and Southland. Intelligent and multi-talented, she has voiced animated films, turned producer-director, made her Broadway debut, and last but not least is also a visual artist. December 3rd, Mr. Christmas. Andy Williams was an American singer. He recorded 43 albums in his career, of which 15 have been gold certified and 3 platinum certified. He also nominated for 6 Grammy Awards. He hosted The Andy Williams Show, a television variety show from 1962 to 1971, along with numerous TV specials. The Andy Williams Show won 3 Emmy Awards. He sold more than 45 million records worldwide, including more than 10 million certified units in the United States. Was active in the music industry for over 70 years until his death from bladder cancer in 2012 at the age of 84. He performed almost up until the day he died.
Right.
At his theater in Branson. Missouri. Mm-hmm. Yep. Daryl Hannah. Daryl Christine Hannah is an American film actress, animal rights activist, and environmentalist. Interested in movies from her childhood, she debuted in films with the supernatural horror film The Fury way back in 1978. She shot to fame with some of her remarkable roles as Pris Stratton in the science fiction thriller Blade Runner. What movie is that? I don't know.
Leave this house.
The Mermaid Madison in the romantic comedy Splash, Roxanne Kowalski in the romantic comedy Roxanne, and assassin Ellie Driver in action film Kill Bill. Critics have also praised the award-winning actress for her performance in the Netflix series Sense8. She is a strong supporter of independent cinema and has produced and acted in many such films. Daryl is a campaigner for the environment and animal rights. She lives in a house powered by solar energy and drives a car that runs on biodiesel fuel. She's made a documentary on human trafficking and has traveled to the Southeast Asia to document this social issue. We have birthdays of friends of ours, Edward Pulley, and a classmate of mine, Dana Eversole.
Happy birthday.
December 4th, Jeff Bridges, considered one of the most celebrated actors of his generation. Jeff Bridges is known for his natural acting and his versatility. He has starred in acclaimed films like Fat City, Starman, Tron, Jagged Edge, Fearless, Against All Odds, The Big Lebowski, True Grit, and Hell or High Water, and Tron
Legacy.
Legacy, yes. He received a Best Actor Oscar for the 2009 film Crazy Heart. Then we have Max Baer Jr., American actor, comedian, director, and producer, best known for his portrayal of dim-witted Jethro Bodine in the Beverly Hillbillies. Although his role in the series increased his popularity, it also subdued his acting career as he became a victim of typecasting. Max Baer Jr. then turned his attention towards directing and producing. And that's it for the birthdays this time.
Technorama, the podcast for geeks, because geeks are better than cool. You don't hear someone say, "Get away from me, you cool person." Who's gonna have their 65-inch home theater system installed by the Cool Squad? Not me, that's for sure. How much cool cred do you have? Not enough to care about. Think you'll find any canned unicorn meat at thinkcool.com? It's just a part domain name. They don't even have roadkill in a paper cup. That's why you need to start listening to Technorama, because that's what geeks do. Go to chuckchat.com and listen to Technorama before you turn cool.
Go give a listen to our friends Chuck and Craig over at Technorama Podcast.
I'm Daniel Radcliffe, and I believe that reaching out for help is the bravest thing a person can do. If you are struggling and need support, call the Trevor Lifeline at 1-866-488-7386. It's free and confidential, and trained counselors are there to listen 24/7 without judgment. To learn more about the Trevor Project's life-saving work for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or questioning young people, go to thetrevorproject.org.
And it's time for our feedback. These are comments that we received in response to articles and episodes that we ran on our website at tggeeks.com, and the links for each of these will be in the show notes for this episode number 406 at tggeeks.com, starting with, regarding TG Geeks episode number 399, we had a number of birthday greetings, and we got responses from Austin Sloan saying, thank you. Hector Alvarez also saying, thank you. And from Hamish Downey, thank you for always making me feel special. Moving on, regarding the American Film Market, AFM announced its 43rd edition event as in person after 2 years online. And we got a comment from Patricia Chica saying, very excited to represent the TG Geeks at the AFM. And we love it when she represents us. She's always happy to represent us.
Absolutely.
And
Thank you,
it's kind of nice when we go to any of these markets or these film festivals and people say, I know who you are.
I know you.
Moving on, regarding TG Geeks episode number 400. And this is the episode where we interviewed the indomitable Jeannie Koch. And got a comment from Hamish Downey saying, this is the perfect way to celebrate 400 episodes. And what better way to celebrate a seminal episode but to have Jeannie on?
Yeah.
Got a comment from Arkle. So not feeling great about my comment on the 400 episode being a couple of corrections, but Kang was played by Markel Ansara.
Thank you.
Christopher Lloyd's Klingon was Krug. Also,
Kang, Krug, all they begin with a K. They all look the same.
Yeah, they do, don't they? Also, no, Ben did not pronounce the name of the YouTuber I was talking about right. Well, I said I wasn't going to do it, so, I covered my bases there. Her name, well, the name of the character she plays on her show anyway is Die Among de Hagen. Wow. Okay, I'm just going to leave it at that. She'd be a fun interview for you guys, by the way. The gimmick of her show is that she's the brutal dictator of the fictional country of Afghanistan, and she reviews movies as a hobby from the cellar of her palace. That's kind of a far-out concept. He also added, very happy to have gotten a TG Geeks a shout-out on this week's Radio Dead Air to mark their 400th episode. Well, thank you very much, Arkle. We appreciate that. We also got a comment from Pia Thrasher. She left this for us on Twitter saying, happy 400th episode. Congratulations on the milestone. And we close it off with a wonderful comment from Barbara Dillon of Fanbase Press saying, I can't believe that I missed this milestone. Congrats to the TG Geeks team on reaching 400 episodes and for doing so much to support creators of all mediums all throughout the year. We see how hard you work, and we hope that you know that it is very much appreciated.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you, Barbara, and that is our feedback.
If you want to leave a comment, you can do that on our Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram. You can even comment on our episodes at YouTube, or you can comment on anything at tggeeks.com, and you could receive a shout out on a future episode. We also have a listener feedback line. You can call and leave us a voicemail, and we'll play it on air. You can call 469-TG-GEEKS. That is 469-844-3357. And as always, please play nice.
For more than 2 decades, Judy and Dennis Shepard have honored their son Matt by working to erase hate around the world. The Matthew Shepard Foundation honors his legacy by inspiring the good work of activists, teachers, artists, and legislators, and everyday LGBTQ+ folks and their allies. Join us today in helping to erase hate. Visit MatthewShepard.org.
Thank you to Comcast NBC Universal for that promo. As everybody knows, we are huge supporters of independent creators, whether filmmakers, comic book artists, writers, or others. Please go visit their websites, their Etsy pages, their Facebook pages, their Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Boomaluma Shangbong,
whatever social media presence they might have
wherever
out there.
they are. Check them out. Talk to other people about their stuff. Buy their stuff. Chat them up about their stuff. If there's something special you want them to do for you, ask them. You never know. They might do it. Please consider supporting independent creators. If you are trans or are questioning your gender identity, and if you are in crisis or are feeling isolated and need someone to talk to, or you know of someone in a similar situation, there is a special hotline just for you. The hotline is provided by translifeline.org and staffed by trained counselors who are transgender themselves. The hotline in the U.S. is 877-565-8860. In Canada, it is 877-330-6366. Or you can go to translifeline.org to learn about the important work they are doing. Please reach out for help. You are not alone.
Yeah, baby. They're like two gay geeks. They're together, you know. They're two gay guys and they're geeks. Is that okay?
We actually have time.
Just a moment to talk about.
I'm shocked that we have time.
The second segment. Yeah, we didn't jaw on too.
I guess
too
not.
long at the beginning. Well, Andor.
Wow.
The finale.
What a series.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that I really like about this, as opposed to Star Wars, and Star Wars is kind of very mythological. You know, you've got I don't want to call him a messianic figure, but you've got the savior in Luke Skywalker.
Right.
You know, he becomes a Jedi. He's got the Force, so he has all this power surrounding him that allows him to, defeat evil. But we keep forgetting that there's an actual rebellion.
Exactly.
Which consists of lots of parts and pieces, and that's what Andor really focuses on.
Exactly.
It kind of gives it's grounded. It's a very grounded series.
Yeah, and this first season was Cassian Andor's backstory,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they did a really good job of telling where he came from, and to see how the rebellion kind of got started.
How it got started.
Yeah, and you see a little bit of that at the end of the sixth movie, third in the series.
Yeah.
Where, the emperor is he's trying to become emperor at that point. At this point, we have the emperor and we have the senators that are, trying to
secretly opposing him,
and how the rebellion gets started,
Mm-hmm.
and how there's the movers and the shakers, and then there's the foot soldiers like Cassian Andor, and how that all kind of starts to come into play.
Well,
and
we
I
also
think
get a
the
good
next series.
Yeah, the
season.
next season is going to really be accelerated and get us to the point where Rogue One begins. And I think this also, as you pointed out, we get a good backstory on Cassian Andor himself. But this upcoming season, we're now going to finally see how does he become the man we meet at the beginning of Rogue One, and how this guy who had no desire to serve the rebellion whatsoever. He was only in it. He only cared about himself. What happens that gets him so invested in striking out against the Empire? It's a fascinating story, and I have so loved it. Practically everybody that I know who has watched it has just raved about this show. And that finale was very emotionally strong.
Oh, my, yeah.
I wouldn't say that it ended with a bang.
No.
Well, it kind of did. But it wasn't like, say, the ending of season 2 of The Mandalorian.
Right.
Holy crap. Which had everybody screaming from the rafters. This had a different kind of ending, but the intensity was still there.
Right.
I thought it was a magnificent series, and I can't wait to see where it's going to go.
Yeah, and the next season, is the last season, so they've got to cover quite
a lot of ground.
A lot of ground on how does the rebellion really get started, and then it ends where Rogue One begins.
Yeah, because I think I read somewhere that the second season is going to encapsulate 5 years. That's a lot of time they have to cover.
Exactly.
If that is correct.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of time they got to cover. I'll be fascinated to see how that works.
Yep.
But I trust the showrunners.
Yeah, I do too.
I think they're amazing. So yeah, Andor was great.
It was great.
And it's time for our weekly review. These are items that we ran on our website this past week at tggeeks.com, and the links for each of these will be in the show notes section for this episode article number 406 that you can find at tggeeks.com and will be available on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Starting with Sunday, November 20th, Nerdy Chupacabras number 127. On Monday the 21st, TG Geeks episode number 405. On Tuesday the 22nd, Andrea's Angle, Bones and All, Ghoulish Love Story. On Wednesday the 23rd, Andrea's Angle, The Fablemans, breathtaking performances. On Thursday the 24th, Ben's Breakdown, Mad About You, Giblets for Murray, arguably one of the best Thanksgiving episodes on sitcom ever made.
Just howling with laughter. There's one moment.
And as I write in my review, when you saw it for the first time, because I called you over to the TV right as it was about to happen. It happens. I turned to you. You were on the floor. You were on your hands and knees, gasping for air from laughing so hard.
It's just crazy.
It's hilarious. On Friday the 25th, Hamish Downey's 5 Questions with Michael Lamberti. And on Saturday the 26th, Ben's Breakdown, Thanksgiving Frasier episode, The Apparent Trap. And why do we give this episode so much love? Because we were there.
Exactly. We were there in the studio for the taping. We did not know that BB Newworth was going to be there.
We didn't know it was going to be a Thanksgiving episode. And we knew nothing. We were just happy to be in there.
It was just brilliant to see them, to see her act, and to see everybody act.
And we got just a couple of minutes to quickly address how did this all happen? Well, we did a Paramount tour that day.
Yep.
And I don't want to knock anybody else who was in our tour group, but Keith and I were the only ones who spoke English.
Yep.
In our tour group. And our poor tour guide, I felt terrible for her. So we were engaging her as much as possible. And besides, I'm a TV and movie geek, so I'm curious about a lot of stuff. So we engaged her like crazy. And then afterwards, after the tour, they take you into their, it's sort of like the employee store, if you will.
Yeah.
And we were just kind of, the only way you can get into the store is if you do the tour. So we were in the store, we were chatting her up and saying, well, it was our 5th anniversary.
Oh my gosh, that was a long time ago.
So we're talking 2002.
Yep.
It's our 5th anniversary. Oh, nice. That's wonderful. How happy for you. Yeah, and we got tickets for Frasier. And the way that works is you are put on a conditional list because the first people who get into the soundstage are people in the industry.
And guests.
And guests of the cast. Though they get first dibs. And after that, any seats that are available, the public can get into, and the line was insane. So we're just, we're going to try and get into the TV taping for Frasier. Hang on a minute, she says. She calls her boyfriend, who happens to handle the bookings for all the seats at the Frasier at the TV taping. She says, "Yeah, I got these 2 guys here, Ben and Keith. Yeah, they're on my tour. Can you get them in? Yeah, put them on the definite list."
Cool.
And we got on the definite list.
So cool.
And we got in, and it was not only hilariously funny, but it was an eye-opening experience. I will never forget that for as long as I live.
Yep.
We have some shout-outs that we need to make. First to Arkle for correcting us when we make mistakes.
Exactly.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
No, nobody does.
Well, yeah,
and it's a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing. But I'm just yoshing with you, Arkle. I don't mean to make you sound, make it sound bad, because we appreciate when you correct us like that. He's also known as Brian Weber, and he's on Twitter referred to as Brian, the ampersand list YouTuber. We mention him because he has his Arkle Times Post-Dispatch News, which has in the past republished some of our content from time to time. And if you want to find the Post-Dispatch News, you need to go to Twitter and search for him. And the best way to do that is search for Geek of All Trades, at Geek of All Trades. And Geek is spelled the letter G, the number 3, the number 3, the letter K of All Trades. And while you're looking for all things Arkle, go to his YouTube channel. He's got a number of projects there. Didn't you tell me he's got another season of Shameless Cash Grab going?
Shameless Cash Grab, Season 8, Episode 1, A Majestic Christmas from 2018.
Oh my God, I can't wait to watch.
Yep.
We must also give some shout-outs to a couple of Facebook groups for allowing us to post our episodes on relevant articles on their pages. First, Two Gay Geeks After Hours. We have to give their moderators some big thanks for saying that we could share away our content there. We greatly appreciate it. And their address is facebook.com/group/thegaygeek. And as always, then there's also the Gay Geek. Sorry, I jumped the gun a little bit. There's the Gay Geek for also allowing us to share our stuff on their page. And their URL is facebook.com/group/the Gay Geek. And as always, we give special thanks to their moderator, Jeremiah Reeves.
Yes, and the other one was Gay Geeks After Hours.
Did I get that wrong?
Yeah, you said the Gay Geek.
Oh.
That's what messed you up.
I guess it did. Yeah, the first one is Gay Geeks After Hours. Facebook.com/group/Gay Geeks After Hours. My bad.
Other places we can be found are Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Amazon Podcasts, as well as where other fine podcasts can be found. Also, check us out on Sci-Fi Radio at 3 p.m. Pacific Time on Tuesdays for a replay of this episode, and listen to their other content. They are a 24-hour geeky internet radio station. Please rate us and review us on iTunes, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And that should do it for this episode of TG Geeks Webcast. Be sure to check out the article for this webcast episode. We'll have several links on the page. And remember, you can comment on our Facebook page or our website, tggeeks.com. Or you can leave us a voicemail at 469-TG-GEEKS. That is 469-844-3357 from TG Squared Studios. I am Keith Lane. Thanks for listening. Please live and be your authentic self, no matter what the world tells you. Be kind to yourself and those around you. Stay safe, wear a mask, get vaccinated. Peace.
Cheers.